This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there, it's Jeff Cutastrophe welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for March the 26th is a former running back with the Raiders organization. He didn't play all his 16 years with the Raiders, but he played a lot of it with. Pretty much he was one of the best runners ever. He was selected 10th overall in the 1982 draft. He spent 11 years with the Raiders and 5 years with the Chiefs. Ran for over 12,000 yards and got 123 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, 6 Pro Bowls, a Super Bowl in 1984, and is the only player to win the Heisman, the NCAA national title, the Super Bowl, NFL MVP, and Super Bowl MVP. Selected to the College Football and Pro Football Hall of Fame in the early 2000s, he is Marcus Allen, who turned 62 today. Anyway, Marcus Allen played for the prestigious University of Southern California, USC. He was a defensive back recruit. However, head coach John Robinson said, no way, he's a tailback, or running back if you will. Marcus Allen was part of the USC team that won the 1978-79 National Championship. He was the backup to Charles White. He was moved to fullback, but got for the 79 season. In the 1980 season, he became the top running back for USC and got over 1,500 yards behind George Rogers of South Carolina and Herschel Walker of Georgia. However, in 1981, he took off, putting up 2,342 rushing yards for USC. It's amazing. It's like 2,300 rushing yards in a 12-game season, which is far less than the NFL. But yeah, college players are not as skilled as NFL players for defense. But anyway, he became the second player to get 2,000 yards in a season. But man, can you believe it? So he spent his 4 college seasons with 4,664 rushing yards and 46 touchdowns. And USC retired as number 33. Anyhow, the 1982 NFL draft happened, and Marcus Allen was supposed to go very high and all that. Now, Marcus Allen was not the first running back taken in the draft. Minnesota took Darren Nelson from Stanford, which wasn't good. Atlanta took Gerald Riggs from Arizona State, which kind of worked. I mean, Atlanta didn't really have any good running backs in their history before Jamal Anderson. Marcus Allen taken by the Raiders. I mean, the Pats could have taken him. The Colts could have taken him. The Browns could have taken him. Okay, well, Cleveland took Chip Banks, which is fine. The Baltimore Colts could have freaking taken him with their second pick in the first round. But they took Art Schlichter. Art fucking Schlichter. Bet you the Colts thought they needed a running back. Seattle could have taken him, although Kurt Warner with the C was a good running back too. Pats, yeah, Colts. The Bears would not have taken him because of Walter Payton. Seattle, Minnesota took a guy. Houston could have taken a running back. But no. Anyhow. So he was happy because the LA Raiders were very close to his days at USC. In fact, they would play at the same stadium. USC played at the Coliseum, and so did the LA Raiders. Anyway, Marcus Allen had a good rookie season. He was the offensive rookie of the year. He would run for 697 yards. But there was a caveat, because the Raiders, like everyone else, had to play 9 regular season games instead of 16. So, anyway, the Raiders shockingly lost to the New York Jets in the AFC divisional round. So Marcus Allen hit the 1,000-yard mark, obviously with 16 games. He was the MVP in the 85 season. But after his fantastic performance at Super Bowl 18, 191 running yards, including that famous 74-yard touchdown run, which was the longest in Super Bowl history until 2006, with Willie Parker getting 75 yards for that run. So Marcus Allen's mark of 191 rushing yards was set, but Timmy Smith of the Skins did it in Super Bowl 22 with 204 yards, which I believe is still the record. But of course, Washington has good offensive line. Timmy Smith got a fucking big head about his stuff. Anyway, Marcus Allen is one of only 4 players to win the Heisman Trophy and Super Bowl MVP. Joining Roger Staubach, Staubach won the Heisman with Navy, Jim Plunkett, who won the Heisman at Stanford, and Desmond Howard from Michigan. Anyway, he was pretty good. Unfortunately, though, Marcus Allen would have to share time with Bo Jackson. He was okay with it at first, but he had problems. He didn't like Bo Jackson sometimes, but he had a stormy relationship with Al Davis because of a contract dispute. Al Davis then called Marcus Allen a team cancer. Unfortunately, Marcus Allen had knee problems and had to be relegated to backup duty his final 3 seasons. Anyway, Davis and Allen had some big problems with each other. After his contract with the Raiders expired, Marcus Allen said, "Screw it, I'm leaving," and joined the Kansas City Chiefs alongside Joe Montana. It's amazing. The Chiefs picked up Joe Montana and Marcus Allen. Imagine the shock in the 1980s if in their prime, like they went to Kansas City. Because Kansas City in the 80s were just shit. Anyhow, he did score 12 running touchdowns, leading the AFC, and he got the Chiefs to the AFC title game alongside Joe Montana. But unfortunately, Buffalo, using the weather to their advantage, took it. He was actually named Comeback Player of the Year for the 93-94 season. Anyway, Allen did pretty good for the Chiefs and all that. He would retire after the 97 season. But he still had it. With over 12,000 running yards. He didn't have a 1,000-yard season after 1985, which was the strange thing. But he was consistent. That's all that mattered. So he has the NFL records for consecutive seasons with multiple touchdowns in a season. 16, tied with the great Irving Fryer. Consecutive seasons with a rushing touchdown, 16. Consecutive seasons with multiple rushing touchdowns, 16. And the oldest player to score 10-plus touchdowns in a season at 37. Marcus Allen got married in 1983 at O.J. Simpson's estate. But the couple divorced in 2001. But the most important thing is that Marcus Allen has a younger brother who actually was another good football star. But not in the U.S., but north of the border. Yes, I'm talking about the great Damon Allen for UCFL aficionados. But yeah, Marcus Allen was still a fantastic person. It's amazing having 2 brothers become football icons in 2 different countries. But it happened. It sure did. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.